Right there, there's a knife. I see it.
I don't want to cut something off.
Go.
No, I don't want that.
Close too well.
I don't want to cut something off.
Mrs. Leibowitz, please call 6600.
Nope.
Mrs. Leibowitz, please call 6600.
You lost your.
I dropped my tools. I can't get them down on the floor.
Now you have to go for the knife.
All right. Oh my God. Sorry, mister. Here, I'm going to cut at your. Nothing happened.
It looked like you cut through his thing.
I was trying to cut off his shirt, but I think I cut him.
Maybe you only can cut him? Like, that's just what it is. You got to play around.
Cracking at his ribs. That's kind of good.
So just so you guys know, we are live. So don't, like, not that I would think you swear.
What's that?
We're live on YouTube. The world is watching you right now.
Oh my God.
It's not wrong.
All right, I'm
So
going to get
pick
the
up the
saw.
saw. Yeah, pick up the saw.
Yeah.
There we
Okay.
Let's
go.
go. Cut something.
Did it give you a task?
No, I
So I
no,
see some bullet holes. Do you have to get the bullets out?
I don't know, but his heart's going fast now. Maybe.
You should have picked up the saw.
You better stop bleeding.
Well, he's got a hole like that in him. I'm going to guess that.
Well, he's on the surgery table. He's opened up.
Oh my God, I dropped another tool.
Did you clean those tools?
No. It only fell in his hand. Oh God, wait, there goes another.
Maybe he didn't hit the floor.
I think he's going to stroke out. I'm sorry, mister. I don't think I can help you. What is this thing?
That's a bomb.
Yeah, I think they took that out of him. Ooh.
Hatchet. What do you do with that? Is that a surgical tool? Is that like a real surgical tool?
I don't know. It's like a.
Yeah, see what happens.
Nothing. It's just like a.
He's got some tough skin.
I think he's dying. Oh,
Oh.
boy. Oops.
Oh, yeah, I think you gotta get the bullets out.
I don't see any directions though.
You don't see it what?
Any directions, like for how to. Oh, it shows he's got like a.
X-ray, you see that?
Oh God.
You gotta get in there.
Yeah, I think you might have to stick your hand in there and pull it out.
I think I lost.
Ah.
Oh.
Oh, you're doing a heart transplant.
Well, yeah. Now it tells me that.
Or maybe this is the next one.
Was I supposed to just like reach in and rip his heart out?
This might be your
I'm gonna
next.
guess it was probably a little more technical.
I'm gonna guess. Oh.
Thank God, he's having a bad day.
Look at it.
So there's his heart. I can't reach in there for it.
Well, you gotta cut his ribcage open, don't you?
Yeah,
You're
you have to, yeah,
gonna have to saw his ribcage. There you go.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have clamps there to open it up? Or you just take it out?
Listen, I'm not that kind of doctor. Still won't let me in there.
Some more.
I think I'm gonna get my ribs out.
Oh, God.
Oh boy, stuff fell down in. The clamps?
I don't see it. It looks like a wrench, not a clamp,
I
right?
know, like I need something to like.
I would think that would expand.
Just going for it.
Is that you shaking or is that?
It's just what it looks like. Oh, gosh.
Do you really break every rib? Is that how you do it?
Oh, God. What they do is
They
they
usually cut straight down.
they
and
cut
stretch
straight
it
down your
out.
sternum. They cut like right
Don't
here,
let them fall in.
and then they spread.
Don't let them fall in like that.
No, he's got one in there. He's got one in there.
Yeah, he's got.
I can't move his lungs. There's not good tools to do this. This must be the heart they want me to put in. There's no cramps.
I guess you gotta break
What's
some.
in here?
Aha! Is that a heart?
Nah, it's like a liver or something. Oh, there's the heart
the heart.
and a sandwich. You see the
Yeah,
sandwich?
right underneath the heart.
Computer programmers.
I was gonna say, that's probably not good.
Do not have. So you guys can see what I'm seeing then.
Yeah, we can see a
Yeah.
screen that we can kind of tell what you're doing.
His heart's beating fast again. I'm gonna lose him again. What's he got in this thing? Mister, I don't know what to do with you.
Can't rip it open.
You're gonna cut yourself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Get in there.
oh, God, that's his lung. Wait, let me put that there. What if I got the other lung out? Mm-mm. Oh, oh, all right. Wait, that's,
Sorry, he's not breathing in fast. No problem.
Tony's like, don't worry about this lung. Oh, there's his bone. There's that bone piece.
No, I'm glad you found that.
Oh my God, I'm gonna lose him.
And his heart looks like it's actually pretty okay. Considering that whatever trauma he's been through.
I mean, normally they wouldn't just reach in here and rip his heart out either.
Probably would cut something, right?
Need a pencil. Oops.
You're getting the hang
Oh
of
my
this.
God, I dropped. Oh. Well, I did better.
Still die.
If we consider that better.
Lots of evidence.
That's awesome. So you can see it on there,
Yeah, on the
Yeah,
back.
you can see.
on the bottom.
like where it is.
That was cool.
All right, so the Vive is like a $2,000 piece of equipment, but
Right.
this is where it's going, and I think prices come down a lot. Obviously, I think the Oculus Rift is only like 500, and what's everything
Yeah,
you
that's
can
what
do
I
on the Oculus, you can do on the Vive for the most part. So what the Vive gives you is the ability to start really building stuff on your own, like kids making games, kids programming different things. So have you seen Expeditions yet?
I was in Travis's room.
Okay, yeah,
We
that's right,
visited the
that's right.
Louvre.
So
Yes, that same thing?
yep,
Yep,
same thing. But they
yep.
also have self-guided ones.
Yep, we were.
So that kind of goes through
What's the QR
Expeditions.
code?
Those are the apps that people want to download, like on their own phone. So this is CoSpaces. So I was showing Tony this one. This is kind of cool. So if you look around, can you tell what this scene is from?
No,
So Jane Marie's kids actually made that.
okay,
Like they actually created the virtual reality scene,
okay,
and they were tasked with creating their favorite scene from the book Wonder.
okay,
So each kid
Yeah.
created their
Yeah,
own
what is-
virtual reality scene using CoSpaces,
okay.
which is kind of cool because now it's having them create, having them think
That's
about.
coding?
Well, to get the motion, you have to use block coding. So then they actually, each one of them created their own programmed to make those, like when the kid talked, which you probably didn't see, but the kid would talk and then walk out the door to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
So they would do each of those different things. You saw this, that was the AR.
Yeah.
So the big difference between AR and VR is that this is like in the room,
Yes.
visualizing, where the VR is taking you somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
And then you saw, actually, I think you saw the YouTube 360 is what they were using for the loop, right? They weren't
Yes.
using Google Expedition.
Yeah, I don't think they were.
So what they were in.
YouTube 360 video, like you did to watch the
You weren't really.
scene from,
Yeah.
in the bunker.
Correct.
So it's basically like a self-guided tour.
So this is AR.
This is AR. Yeah. And then we were talking about MR, the ability to start getting this, but then also manipulate. So that's
Okay.
kind of like the mixed reality, which we don't really have.
Okay.
The big difference between Google Expedition and between like a YouTube 360 is Expedition, once every kid is on, the teacher controls it from their device. So they can basically put them into scenes, take them out of scenes. It's not like every single kid is opening up a YouTube 360 video, which is nice from a teacher standpoint, because then they're not, they have more control over it. So,
Okay.
but I don't know. So you guys
So the
can reference
YouTube
it.
360 thing, they can go on different, like they can go different
Places
places.
wherever, like they're.
So if you're
searching.
teaching about USSD 2, he could be on Miami Beach. Yeah.
Yeah, so like this is what Herzog created for his lesson the one day that he did it when we met. So he has the links and QR codes to each video.
And these are already made. He didn't create.
No, these are
He
already
didn't
made.
create the
These are already made, correct. And then like while some kids were doing that, some kids went to the virtual tour museum on their Chromebook, and they had to look on the wall for like how much a car was in 1939, just to gain that perspective. So it was cool when he did his lesson. It was all beforehand. Like he didn't start teaching any of this stuff and then go back to it. This was all them exploring at the time. And then going into the content, and talking to them about that
It's like an
background
eighth
knowledge.
grade, yeah.
Yeah, it's,
Build a
you know,
little
it's,
context.
it's exploring and then explaining instead of
Explain that.
reversing
Yeah.
explaining. So,
Nice.
And is that something that is it a bank that grows where teachers create these?
well, anybody creates it. Most of those, like that the Dunkirk one, the Dunkirk movie,
Right.
they made like a 4.5-minute trailer. And actually, I think there's a full movie that you can buy, but that was made by them
In VR.
in VR. The whole thing. The Olympics, the last
Imagine
winter,
that.
the
Watch
last,
whole movie in
so the
VR.
last Winter Olympics, you could watch certain events in VR.
Oh, wow.
So I'm guessing this year, I haven't seen any advertisements yet, but I would guess that it's gonna be even more than it was.
Can you picture that? Like, the guy jumps up in the air, and you're like up there with him, like looking
Yeah.
that way. You know?
You take your glasses off, you'd be really disappointed to be sitting there.
This is like my dream. So it's like exercising. I don't really move.
Yeah. So I don't know, just, I mean,
That's awesome.
we could talk through some of these real quick, but like I said, I shared these, but to kind of look at it. So we looked at all of those. CoSpaces was the one.
So these are all
actually,
different apps.
all different apps, and there's a gazillion more. And these
So
are
this
just,
could use all those.
so
apps?
that's the Vive.
Only could use Vive.
I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things. Like if we look at the Vive, like
But you can only
these-
use the Oculus thing is you can only use.
some of those
they
games,
push out.
a lot of those games are created on Unity, it's called, which is the creation engine. So if it's created on Unity, a lot of times it can be done on the Rift or on the Vive,
And the Rift is.
the Oculus. But like these are all different games that are loaded.
And so the YouTube one is off my phone in a
app.
these devices.
And like a remaster.
So, VRAR, MR. So the CoSpaces we talked about, this was another scene that one of the kids created where they were in, I don't know if you guys saw the movie Wonder, but
I did.
there was the one part where they were watching a movie, fifth grader created.
And then
Put all those people in, there's animations in them.
what he said was actually you read the book, but you didn't see any of the movie or any visuals. So you'd actually be creating
Creating it.
the entire.
Yeah, and you start thinking about characters, like character traits.
What does he
You know,
look
like,
like?
Lord of the Fly.
How do they
That's such a
behave?
huge project in Lord of the Fly is let's do character traits. So now instead of just talking about character traits, you have to be like have kids create, these areas or that would define Piggy. Like what are the character traits of Piggy would be. So that's really cool for creation, and it's really not hard to do basic things. Anybody can kind of get in there and manipulate it if you want to start going
And that's the
advanced.
Vive thing.
No, this is just CoSpace, and you can do all this on a Chromebook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nothing to do with the Vive. You
So
can
we could do that.
view them on a Chromebook. You can make them on a Chromebook. You can then pull them up on the phone in the cardboard and then look at it.
So that's creating VR spaces.
Correct. YouTube 360 we talked about. Those are the lessons that we talked
That's a
about.
panoramic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Panoramic video. Sometimes the videos move through different places. Sometimes they don't.
We could create those and put them on YouTube.
You can. I have a bunch. So when I was in Mexico, I took a bunch of 360-degree shots of the butterfly sanctuary that we went to, where all the monarchs were. There were like millions of monarchs in one spot. Like it was crazy. So then we had that video. So I talked about it when I bought the YouTube, the 360 camera this summer. I actually tweeted to Eagle. I was like, I wish I would have had it before you went to Paris, because how great would it be for her kid to have that in Paris and be able to take all those shots and then bring them back.
So you have to have that kind of a camera.
Yeah, you can use your phone too, but then you're like, oh, like this. I don't know if you ever tried to take one, but it
Yeah.
gives you like 50 points that you have to stop over top of each one. Whereas the 360 camera, we've actually forgotten Mexico, so our friends have it. They're coming home in a month, but you just hit the button once and it just snaps to 360. Or you can do a video.
I have
Like I actually did
camera, but I
video.
don't even use it.
Really?
Came with my Galaxy.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Yeah.
I don't use
Bring it in.
it. I
Okay.
can't use it like right.
Eon Experience has AR, VR, AR and VR for certain shots. So that's that whole like, here's the heart, here's the eyeball, here's these different things. You can go to Machu Picchu and look at it in VR. So it's kind of like both areas, and you pick if you want to be an AR or VR when you're doing it. The Vive we talked about. This is a pretty good article about different educational ones on the Vive. Like, so different things that are out there. Again, it's a huge cost, but we're getting to that. These talk about Google Expeditions, teacher leading and student leading it. The other thing we didn't talk about is even in expeditions, if you have kids go on expeditions, you can do self-guided ones. So if you wanted to have a center where kids were going, so like for example, this talks about the Staten Island transfer station. If you want to look at trash, the kids can go through a self-guided tour in expeditions.
So can we create, we keep talking about open house and creating our virtual tour of a building, putting that on our website, so when parents move into the district, they can tour the building.
Yeah.
We could do that.
We can, yeah. I mean, especially with that 360 camera app. Like, it'd be so easy to
Well,
do.
that makes sense, like as far as a project. Just curious, like, that'd be something.
What about the actual kids who do the tours? Like when we get a new kid and they're assigned one of those kids.
Kaylee D.
I
Gazelle,
know,
please report back to
maybe
Mrs.
the same
Eagle's
kids,
classroom.
I think
Kaylee
we
D.
get
Gazelle,
kids
please report back to Mrs. Eagle's classroom.
And you kind of like shadow them around, do that tour with them.
So you think that the Mustang Mile kids?
I don't know. I mean, you set it up, you can set up the camera on a rolling dolly, and
They know.
it takes a lot of the error out of it. Or you do a whole bunch of still shots, you know what I mean? You just set it up, hit it, move it, set it up, hit it, move it, and then you just kind of thread it all together. I mean, naturally, I think it would fit, under one of the tech ed classes pretty easily.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, tying it to curricular, other than giving them the global skills and being able to do something. So this talks about that self-guided and being able to do some of these things. I talked about like it's perfect for notice and wonder. Like it's perfect to start that conversation with kids and just say, all right, so what do you wonder about the shots you're seeing? Talk about it. Let's list all those on the board and then drive them to what we want to do. So these are links to all the different Google expeditions that are out there in VR. So this is a lesson on biomes where the kids went to different Google expeditions and did biomes.
So you go to the desert.
Yeah, pretty cool. Exactly. You could be in the desert and looking up all the different.
I know what wetlands are because I was in.
Yeah. These are a bunch of different other ones. This is called InMind VR. You might have seen that on your Samsung.
I think that's
You shoot the neurons in the brain that are bad, and you have to like correct them.
Yeah, and I have Discovery.
Discovery VR. That's kind of I'm okay with that one. It's not horrible. It's a lot of the shows. New York Times VR is
You see
awesome.
like a lion,
Yeah.
like right here.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa.
Right.
Yeah.
This one's great. They started doing pieces in 360. So like pieces they would actually release, they sent all of their subscribers like a cardboard set, and then they started doing a whole bunch of pieces online. So like the one was on the Syrian refugees, and it's amazing because like the whole interview is in 360, so you can be looking around. Like you start out in a school that was just completely dilapidated from bombing, and like kids, walking around, like 2 kids walking around the school that they're talking to and asking questions of. I've had teachers cry when I show this in VR sessions because it's so,
You see the reels.
like you're getting a feel for what those refugees feel like instead of just looking at a still picture and talking.
The Discovery was this third year, I think, had a dinosaur thing that was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Big
So-
dinosaur right in front of you.
Yeah, there's tons. This is called, this is a great one on the Galaxy. It's a shooting game. You're on a roller coaster and you have to shoot barrels as you go through. Great example. It's called, like,
No education.
no education.
I think it's an input mission.
All right, there you go. She made it. She made it.
There we go.
Have some value. There's the other there.
Salvador Dali paintings. Somebody took Salvador Dali, all his paintings, and put them on 360 YouTube, where like it's actually rendered in 3D now that you can actually go through the paintings and look around as you're going through them, which is really cool. Lower Hudson and Chernobyl, they did this whole big piece on Chernobyl, where they have a drone like flying down smokestacks and all in 360. Tour of Buckingham Palace. Obviously don't recommend this to kids, but tons of resources on Reddit for VR stuff that you can check out. So, that is blocked.
Not PG.
So all different links. So creation though, so these are some of the things we were talking about. This was actually talked about creating. This was a 360-degree shot that I took at Mount Evans. And then what you can do with that is then create these story spheres that you can put voice over top of different points on that photo. So I imported that photo into this story sphere program, which is free and web-based. It never loads. So you can start to spin this photo now. I took this.
Looking at.
This is Mount Evans at 13,600 feet.
So I shot that. This was actually shot on my iPhone at the time because I didn't have the 360-degree camera. This was July.
That's right. It's been here for a million years.
This 360-degree still shot was taken in June of 2016 using Google Street View on an iPhone 6 Plus.
So it's just, so now you have kids actually adding stuff to it, explaining different things in 360 degrees.
I gotta get going.
Yeah, man. So we talked about ghost bases and some other things that you can use. But they're out there. That's it.
People would
Twitter chat tonight if you want to check it out.
ARVR notification.
9 to 10.
West Coast time usually, so it's
Yeah.
9 o'clock here.
Well, thanks for
You're welcome.
together.
No worries. Like, think about it when you're talking with teachers about ideas, as things come up when you're having conversations.
Yeah. In my pre-observation meetings with the teachers so far, we talk about like, so
All right, so I'm going to take a minute here to quickly go through and just briefly go over my presentation. You might have heard me talking to people before about it. This will be a more direct moment with the presentation being shared so that you can see it. Feel free to visit this presentation anytime and use what you would like and share with who you would like as well. So we want to look at virtual reality and augmented reality. What we were doing during the beginning was looking at different centers. For example, we looked at Google Expeditions and how Google Expeditions can be used in class to really create conversation and background knowledge with students. We also looked at CoSpaces. Some of our fifth graders created virtual worlds of wonder, which we'll look at in a little bit. Nice little sample video of things that are possible and that are coming with almost mixed reality, the ability to see things and move things around. So the big difference is virtual reality takes you to a particular place. You feel like you're immersed in that location wherever you are. Augmented reality is the ability to see something come to life within your own surroundings. So that's usually done through a trigger. And that was actually that Eon experience that we're talking about. Google Expeditions is also having an AR pilot going right now. We're really excited in March that they're going to be joining us. And then the last thing is mixed reality. And taking that virtual reality and augmented reality together and how you can combine them to be able to manipulate and do different things within that surrounding. So almost performing surgery like we were doing earlier on the Vive, where you can actually be in the virtual reality, but also have the augmented ability to manipulate and see in that area. As we talked about CoSpaces, this is one of the scenes that one of the fifth graders at the intermediate school created as their favorite scene from the book Wonder. CoSpaces EDU is a great way to create it, and you can also use some coding to manipulate motion and action within your scene. All that is web-based. We do it on the Chromebook and have our students create them. They can view them on the Chromebook, and then they can also view them on a phone in a cardboard so that they can see it in virtual reality. YouTube 360 we use a lot. There's 2 lessons here if you want to check them out. One was a U.S. history lesson, and one was a World War I lesson, where students really gained background experience and knowledge and got to watch a whole bunch of videos. One of my favorite is the Dunkirk promo. It's about 4.5 minutes based off the Dunkirk movie, but it does allow you to kind of get a virtual reality experience of what they went through at that time. Eon experience we talked about with augmented reality, but also has virtual reality built in. A lot of different shots that you can check out, a lot of educational shots that you can use as well, especially in science. The Vive, the possibilities are endless. Feel free to check out this link. At OSCE is a lot pricey, or extremely pricey, you know, and you're looking at having 1 or 2 in a school instead of having a whole set of something like phones and Google Cardboard. Talked about Google Expeditions and the ability to share a bunch of different things. The nice thing about Google Expeditions is the ability to lead as a teacher and have students follow. So it kind of gives you the control as a teacher to know where they are at that particular time. The majority of the other things, like the YouTube 360s, every student has to go view that video. And if they're not heading in that direction, as a teacher, you don't really know because they're looking through the lenses to do it. So in Google Expeditions, you can lead as a teacher and also follow. Examples of different things as you go into a guide. Once you download them, they will stay on your device, and then you would open it up to run when you're reading it. Here's an example of the Staten Island transfer station. Notice that you can draw over top of things as well, and it gives you a bunch of information to read through. A lot of times teachers are more of an expert on that particular topic, so they'll be talking instead of reading exactly what's on there. Another example of leading, and you can actually click on different photos and it'll give the students an arrow to point them in the direction you want them to look. As a student, they would follow. You'll notice over here that the image pops up and they can follow whoever is running that expedition at the time. An example of what it would look like on the student side, once you put those in VR goggles, it gives you more of the immersive feel. There's also self-guided mode in Google Expeditions, which is kind of nice. Some of the shots are self-guided, so students can go through at their own pace and take the control off the teachers. It's a great way in centers to have students working through learning about different things. They'll actually read the content to them. So if you have students who aren't necessarily as good at reading, it'll read it to them. as well as show them those options. As we're exploring, looking at expeditions, there's a lot of different apps out there. So these are all linked out. So once you have the presentation open, feel free to check it out. Some really good ones here. New York Times VR is the one that I really like. Has a bunch of their pieces in 360 that you can check out and go to. There's a bunch of different links as well. Dali painting is pretty cool. Someone rendered the Salvador Dali paintings onto 360, and you can actually go through and look at 360 degrees of the rendering of his paintings in 360. More links to check out as you have time, going through different virtual reality and augmented reality stuff. If you're looking to create, as an example of some different things you can do, I mentioned CoSpaces earlier. It's really nice. I also like StorySphere. Here's a sample of a StorySphere that I created. This was in Denver, Colorado, on Mount Evans. What you can do is you can actually pull in a 360-degree shot. So I pulled these in. And then once they're in, you can add different points.
This 360-degree still shot was taken in June of 2016 using Google Street View on an iPhone 6 Plus.
So as you can see, I added my voice over top, added different points. This would be really great for kids to create, take some 360-degree shots, and add information over top of it. The Unity is the engine that would be creation for like the Oculus Rift and the Vive, and where you can actually create the games and videos that go into that as well. Aurusma is a nice one, and ZapWorks for creating augmented reality in your room. So you can take pictures of your room and then have different triggers in your room that when a student would look in that area of your room, things would pop out like videos or still images or other items like that. Example of a whole bunch of different items that you can use. We talked a little bit about the Vive, Rift, Samsung Gear if you have a Samsung phone. Google Daydream works really well with the Pixel phones. Microsoft HoloLens, and then just basic Google Cardboard that you would use with any type of phone that you have. Examples of different places to buy. If you click here, it'll take you out to the Google site and show you the different cardboards that are available. We also printed some lenses in the past when I was at Wilson. And this is a link to the Thingiverse link that you can actually download and print on a 3D printer. There is an Ed chat or an AR, VR, and education chat on Wednesday nights. If you're just checking that out. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. If you want to check out any of these different things on virtual reality, I'd be happy to show them to you and talk through it, as well as looking at different ways we can integrate it seamlessly into the curriculum.
Yes.
Hey, Deb.
Hi, how are you?
Great, you.